Hello and welcome to the new Power BI dashboard tutorial. And in this dashboard tutorial, I will show you how you can create from scratch the call center overview dashboard. So this entire dashboard is all about the different aspects of call center. And as you can see on the left hand side, we have the different KPIs, which is talking about some key indicators for call center performance. And on the right hand side, we have multiple different charts to explain what's going on in different categories. For example, we are looking at customers by channel. We are looking at the weekly chart for billing question, payment, service outage. Down below, we have the information about call reason, which is clearly indicating a lot of calls are coming for billing question, which can get a management attention because that is taking a lot of time. That means you will need to hire, or you have to hire a lot of manpower to answer this type of question. So what you can really do over here, similarly over here, the call sentiment, the sentiment customer is registering after the call is completed, and we can clearly see negative is the highest one, very negative is the third highest one, and then very positive is quite less. So what you can really do to increase these two categories so that they are over here, that should be your target, right? So all of this is going on in this chart, and as you can see, different types of chart. Like I said, we have pie chart, we have stack column chart, we have horizontal bar chart, and this is a vertical bar chart which is going on. Along with this, a lot of DAX is going on in creating this. Above here, we are introducing some dynamic behavior, which is with the help of parameter, we can look at for this particular chart. We can look at whether we want to see the chart by reason or by sentiment, right? As we change this, only this particular chart changes, right? Similarly, for this chart, if we want to change, we want to look at customer by channel, or do we want to look at customers by state, right? Up to us, clearly indicating Texas and California are the two highest one, or the three top one is this one, which is indicating to almost 11, 10 is 21, and almost 30% of the calls, right? So what do you really need to do over here for these three big states so that the call volumes or customers is basically you can manage it easily. So that is what is going on. Also interactivity, for example, I want to look at the California folks over here, so the chart is all updated by California. Then I want to look at the Florida, the chart is updated by Florida. For Texas, for Texas customers, I want to understand the very negative sort of a feedback which is being given. Then I can click on very negative and it produces it. But over here, one thing I want to call it out, since we moved from this chart to this chart, the thread is not followed where we are looking at Texas, only the Texas customer. Actually, we are looking at only the very negative customer. If we want to get that behavior, we need to produce the filter over there. Okay. So with that introduction, now I'll show you how you can create it step by step. And before I start, a quick information about my Power BI blog. So over here, if you see this Google spreadsheet, this is something where I keep all of my Power BI videos, where I am right now on 244th video, where I'm looking at call center dashboard. Previously, if you see Power BI finance dashboard or many different dashboards, I have HR analytics, organizational diversity, all these different charts, how-to videos, hacks, all of that is something which I'm posting. The link is present in the description. You can come over here and search any of the video that is related to your topic or interest area and jump to that video using the link which is present in column B, right? So that's a quick information I wanted to give you. And let's move ahead and look at the data first. All right, so here we are in the data file, and this is a call center data set. So what are we having is the ID. So what is the ID that we are having? And what is the customer name that we are having, right? What is the sentiment that you are having? And that is something customer is registering. What is a call satisfaction score? So clearly higher, that means better. Very negative is 1, neutral again 5, 8, and I think there is something called 9, which is very positive, right? 9 and 10. Or positive sometimes is 7. So all of that is something which is there. the timestamp. Now it is important to understand that for which time period this data set is. So I will do a filter, and this entire data is basically for different time period. As you can see, information over here, and if I go down below, what I know is this is only the 10th month 10 information. That means 1 month. So problem is that this timestamp, if you see, 10/29 is coming as text, whereas this is coming as the normal date, right? So that is the reason why it was not capturing it perfectly. We have one of the two ways. Either we can change, this is a simple change, right? Either we can do it over here, or we can, look within the Power BI. So we're going to look within the Power BI so that we know that how we can correct this type of a behavior anytime it is coming again. So then we have the reason, we have the city, state, channel, response, response time is within SLA or above SLA, above, below, within, right? Call duration, how much time, average time a user is speaking. So lesser the time, the more a customer you can attend, right? So that is something you can look at it. And then finally, we have the Los Angeles, California, Baltimore, Los Angeles. So that basically indicates your basically city and state related information. Chicago, Illinois, all of that. Okay, so with that information, so we have some stuff for transformation. So that is what we will going to do. That means we are going to clean up our data a little bit, and then we will start doing the visualization. Okay, so for that, let me get back to Power BI. So here I am in Power BI, and let me bring the new report. And this new report, we will start from scratch, so that if you are creating it again, you will find it. Also, if you need this template and all, you have the link in the description from where you can get the dashboard. All right, so let me move this to my second screen so that I can easily see it and reference it, because second screen, you know that it is important to understand what do you really need to produce, right? So you have, I don't need this, I'll close this. So this is a new one, and then we will going to get the data which is into the CSV file. I believe it is in my downloads, but you can get it from the link which is present over here. And also I want to mention that this data set is part of the RWFD, which is real world fake data, produced on the website, and let me give you the link of that. So over here, let me expand this. What is that? I told you RWFD. Just search it in Google like I'm doing it. Real world fake data, right? Go to the data.world over here, and you have the real world fake data website. So I'll tell you that so that you have every information that you need related to this data set. So you have the real world fake data, and over here you need to log in it. Since I'm already logged in, this is a season 2, or they are saying season 2 rebooting. The sonofhierarchies.com is basically the website maintained by Mark, and here also he has given these data set, which is human resources, financial, consumer complaints. So close to some 10-12 different data set. So what I'm using is the call center. So this is a good source of having some realistic data set from which you can produce a good information, right? So this is a website link. I will put it in the description, which you can then use it. All right, let's move it away. So where we are is with this data set. So we have the CSAT score, we have call timestamp, and as you can see, Power BI looks like have transformed it. So I'll go into the transform data first. Just want to make sure that everything is coming properly, and then we should be able to move ahead with our visualization. So we have this customer satisfaction score is good. There are a lot of nodes which is a part of this. We have this call timestamp, and entire data is, as you can see, is only for October. So it has Power BI has been able to identify it properly. You have the call reason, and also I will just say this is ABC, right? So we need to change this to date, correct? Replace current. So you can see that this is coming as an error. So what I'll do is I will remove this and I'll come over here. So this is the input which is coming like this, and let me see if I can solve it using the locale option. The last one, ABC, when you click on ABC, the last option is the locale option. And from data type text to come to date, right? And sample input values is like this, 29th March. So over here, first let me try with this. I think it is DDMMDDYYYY, but let me try because I remember, no, I think it was United States. Just getting confused with that. Where are you? United States. So this is how the input values are, 329. So 10/9, 10/21, right? Click OK. Now your dates are properly coming. Okay. So you have this information, which then you can use it for your date hierarchy. Then you have the billing question, you have the Detroit, Michigan, so on and so forth, call duration in minutes, again in ABC, right? So make sure it is a whole number. Otherwise, you will not be able to do the aggregation properly. Okay. So this is a transformation we have done. Now we can close and apply. Once we close and apply, we can start building our visualization. So this is coming, and then I will start building the visualizations. Okay, so I'll give it a minute. So far, if you are enjoying, make sure you hit the like button. It helps me understand you are liking this and I produce similar content. Also, give me feedback in the comment section, right? That gives me inspiration as well as understand your thoughts about what you're thinking of the content. And if you have situation like a different type of a dashboard you want me to cover, so we can do that. Okay, so over here we have these different types of dashboards. Different types of fields, not the dashboard. And this is a call center. So few things at the top we need. So first thing first is the title, right? So let's create the title. The title is text box, and in capital it is call center overview dashboard, right? And from 10 to 36, let's expand that. And as you can see, I'm just doing some bit of the work here with this. So once we have done that, and I will call it DIN. Okay. The reason I'm calling it is because most of the title, the default title, what we get is the DIN, which is, I feel like, a better text. That's just my preference, but you can have your preference as well. Not the background, but I want to keep it this. And let's make it, 50% transparent. Yeah, that should be good. So whole idea behind choosing the color and all is, they should be part of the dashboard from the perspective of what your element is, and if you want to have a break or something, but it should not take a lot of attention of your eye. That is a design or the color concept when you are working with the dashboard design, application design, website design, right? Color should improve the behavior of how you consuming it, not come in between of your content and you, right? So that is the basic philosophy behind why I'm doing transparency and all. And this, it took me time to learn this concept after several dashboards. All right, with that information, let me start creating the KPIs. So for KPI, the very first KPI that I can see on my second screen is the total calls KPI. And what I'll do is, so for total calls, we will going to call this call ID. This is basically represent the number of calls that were made. So like I always describe, the best practices, don't use it directly. Like I can go ahead and use count of this, which is 33K almost, right? Oops, what happened? Let me try it again. So count of 32.94K, right? And then the problem is that if tomorrow there is a change that rather than count, they want to use some other aggregation, maybe count distinct, right, as a aggregation point. So in that scenario, you will feel like that if this calculation is being used at 10 different places, then you need to make a correction at 10 different visualization. So that is why it is a best practice that you should always use it as a measure. So for that, what I'll do is move it from here, come here, home, and click on new measure. And in this new measure, I will say total calls. Okay, and that is your count of ID, right? So over here we have count of ID. Now tomorrow, just think about this. I created this calculation and this will come over here, total calls, and I can put it over here. And suppose this calculation is being used in 10 different visualization in the entire dashboard. If a change is coming from count to distinct count, I just need to come over here, change it once, and it will be changed in every visualization where it's used as a field, right? So that is something which you should know, that how what is a best practice, one of the basic and core practice that you have, right? Or maybe tomorrow, like count divided by 1000, who knows, right? They want to view it like this, let's say for any reason. So 33 calls, and our interpretation is there. If 33 is there, that means 33,000 calls. Who knows? So you just have to make a change at one place and all the visualization will be updated, which is using this field. Got it? So that's something you should know, and I will now move it up here, right? And then in title, I will remove the category call because I'm using the title. The title is the total incoming calls, right? Total incoming calls. And in center, not that much dark. We should always have it slight gray color. Yeah, this much is fine to indicate that this is the number, but this is just for a reading. It should not conflict with the this particular label, right? So we have total incoming call, copy and paste 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So what I'll do is, fourth one where I need to put it, maybe here. So okay, one more thing which I needed, because now I have to do it at 4 different times. So first thing first, let me just align them, format over here in align vertically, so they are now all properly aligned. The only thing which two things which I may need to do is, I may need to increase a bit because there is a lot of gap over here, right? Plus there is a background which I need. So over here, category in general, effects, background is this with 50% transparency, which I used over here, if you remember, right? So then this plus width, maybe I'll use, no, not the width, 200 is fine. I think height I will use is 130. Now if I just format this, again height I have to change it 130. Again here, sorry, format this, and height I will change it to 130. And that is a reason, we should do all the changes here in one single place and then paste it down below. 130. Also format this over here, and I will bring it a little bit up. I will bring this little bit down and maybe a little bit up, so that will not look like a lot of different spacing. But there is a scroll bar which is coming over here, so we need to take care of that. Okay, this is the reason why it is coming. So yeah, that should be good. And yeah, let's see. Okay, let me give some space, and these are small things we have to take care, otherwise dashboard will not work as expected. Okay, so this is good. Now what I can do is I can select all of this, again come into the format, align, distribute vertically, and we are little bit better. If you need which you need to match something like this, we need to increase some more space over here. Okay, so that is how we can basically do it. Then so we have total incoming call. The second is the duration. So duration is present where? Call duration, right? Call duration over here. So same thing, we will create a new measure, and this will be total call time over there. So total call duration in hours. Now I'm showing you one calculation, because what we have in minutes, if we need to convert it into hours, we need to divide by 60, right? So what we were going to do is we were going to use the divide function. Divide sum of what do we have is call duration in minutes, comma, divide by what? 60, right? And then with that you have the call duration in hours, which I can change it here. Total incoming calls, call duration in hours. What do I need? Need to come over here, decimal place 0, and this I change it to none. And then what I'm showing is hours also. If I show, if you remember from my previous this thing, where I was showing the main, which is here. Let me show you. Over here, if you see, this is hours, right? So now the thing is, we don't have any option over here. So what do? There is a small thing. You basically create a box, which is hours. Okay, and keep the format din, like everything that we are doing is like that only. And then what you need to do is, by making adjustment, effects, remove the background, and then bring it here, right? With the mouse, the keyboard up and down arrow, you put it location. So this is just an indication, right? Not conflicting with your visualization and all. So these are the number of hours, and then what do we have is the average call time. So call duration, right? So what do we need is the new average call time. So this is the total hours that they responded, but average call time we will put it in minutes, right? Because there is no call which is in hours. So average call time in minutes, MINS, is equals to average of call duration in minute. Okay, so we have this, and then we can select this average call duration in minutes. So this is rather than saying total incoming call, the way we need to say is total call duration, and this one is average call duration. Average call duration, and over here we will call it the minutes. Copy, paste, bring this down, right? And we will call it MINS in minutes. Oops, what did I do? Save it, Control A, DIN, which is here, and then we just need to remove the decimal values. For that I'll come to the visual, and then I'll keep it 0. So 25 minutes. Now it is little bit misaligned, so I will keep it like this, right? So now we know total is this, that based on the 33,000 calls that are there, but this is the average time, 25 minutes. You may want to reduce that. Reason for this is 25 is way too high, right? So any call, if let's say the threshold is any call which is going above 5 minutes, you really want to inspect that, and that is something, another threshold which can be how many calls are going above 5 minutes, right? So if that is sort of a question which is going on over there, then what you can do is you can create a true false parameter. I'm just creating it. I have not used it, but this is a runtime calculation, because this is a type of thing which can come. So like in home, you have the new column, and you will basically say call above 5 minutes, right? Question mark. And then you can say if call duration in average call duration, right? Call duration in minutes is greater than 5, then true, else false, close it. So true, 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 all of that, which is false over here, which we can validate. Yeah, 5 minutes or less, right? 6 minutes, 7 minutes. So a lot of calls are going, which you can then come over here and create a sort of a KPI with this true false condition. Call above 5 minutes, right? So what you can do is you can create a KPI card like this, or I can basically Control C, Control V, and then you want to understand, or your user want to understand how many calls are going above 25. Right now I'm doing it directly. Average call duration is this, right? And call above 5 minutes, I will put it on filters and true, and we need the count 32,000, like 90% plus calls are going above this one, right? So now you basically a new insight for you, right? Or you can say 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depends on what it is, right? So something, you can do wonders with the analysis by creating more fields like this. Okay, wanted to give you an example. You can experiment more about it. So this is what it is. And then over here, what we are going to do is we need a chart. So finally we need to change this, which is the average satisfaction score. So CSAT score, right? So like always, we were going to create a new measure, and the measure will be average satisfaction score. Just increasing it so that you can view it easily. Average satisfaction score, average, and the way I was increasing it, if you're wondering, control plus 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 plus, control minus 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 minus, control plus 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 plus, right? Because I got a feedback that these calculations are not visible. So average satisfaction score is CSAT score, and you can close it. Okay. So now you have it here, average satisfaction score, which then I can bring it over here. Average satisfaction score, average, why it is not showing, see details. Call center average satisfaction function average cannot work with the value of type string. Okay. CSAT score, let's see that something weird happened. Call duration, CSAT score. We changed this data type if I remember. Let's change it again. Whole number. Yes. You can't automatically convert. Okay. Format, CSAT. Let's go into the transform data. It's crazy stuff. Alright, I remember I converted, I don't know why it's doing that, but I converted into a whole number, close and apply, right? Queries are pending, yes, we know that. Don't have a support of visit type model, something went wrong, don't have a support for visit model type. Okay, so this is creating some issues for us. Let me just see it down below. Ideally it should, change it. Average satisfaction score. So what I'll do is I'll delete this, delete from model. Okay, so we have CSAT score. I will first try with this. If not, I'll have to go back again. Yes. Can't automatically apply changes. So something is crazy over here. Home, I will do it again. It should allow me. That's the whole purpose that we are having. Yeah, so here we have numbers, right? This is the type that we have changed. Okay, and if I close and apply, and don't have a support for a visit of model type. Let me understand this. Alright, so I looked up over there in the community sections, and one of the options is that open call center dashboard, cancel, discard changes, discard, close this, save. Alright, call center dashboard, let's see that. Okay, and let me open it again. So open report. I am opening it from my second screen, so that's why you are not able to view it. Okay, so now it is opening. Let's see. Take some time because I was not expecting this. Sometimes it's probably a Power BI or error, and like any other Microsoft application, better part is you close it and open it, or like shut down your system and open it again. I don't know why, but this is weird. Wow, it is what it is, like we always say. Let's see if this error comes again. Okay, all right, fine. CSAT score, whole number. Yes, now it is giving the right message that you want to change the data type. Yes, we want to change it. Can't automatically convert. Okay, again the same error. Home and transform. Let's see if this issue is coming again, because when I created it originally, no issue was there for this. ABC, whole number, right, changed type, int64, and we were going to close and apply. Let's see if this is the error that we are getting again. So don't have a visit of support model type. Okay, so what do I need to do? Well, I don't know. What I'll do is let me just do one quick thing. If you are running into this issue, well, the way we can do it is I can try it one more time by simply importing this data and transforming it and making sure that when I'm creating something new, does it give the error again or not. Okay, so with that, let's get the data into text CSV one more time. Very quickly we will do that. Call center. Okay, and let's see this. Yeah, transform data. And this is where I sometimes feel like in some situation this is advanced, but this dashboard initially was for Tableau. And if you see right now, 1, 2, 3 by default. So something craziness with the previous one. So I'll change this very quickly. If you remember, using locale, and I can even copy and paste everything over here. It's just going to take a little bit of time. If you want, you can skip it to maybe another 3-4 minutes or 5 minutes. I don't know, because I'm doing it right away in front of you. United States over here. Yes, we need that. So now we have got that. Billing question, this is called duration. This is also 1, 2, 3. Earlier, if you remember, it was in the text format, which we changed it, right? Now we are just doing one. So 1, 2, 3, good. Date, good. This is good. Close and apply. It's a crazy world. So let's wait for a couple of seconds. And then let's use that, these fields. All right, 4 MB, perfect, 32,000 rows. Call center, let's just quickly examine this. CSAT score and calls duration, perfect. Now, one in front of you, I'll just do it for the previous call center dashboard. Let's bring all of our settings in 2 minutes, right? So that way you don't need to spend hours by recreating it. It's just that you need to import the data for sure, but then rest of the things we can just do it like not beyond 2 or 3 minutes if it ever opens. So that's where we need to wait. Have a sip of tea or coffee if you need it. I have nothing. All right, let's wait for it. Okay, Mr. Power BI. All right, you are here. Control C, Control V. Come on. Ooh. Control V. Nothing will come, right? So what do we need to do? We need to come here, right? And average call time. Control A, Control C. New measure. Control V. Okay. So this is one. Then we have this. A, Control C, new measure, Control V. So this is populated, going back, total calls, Control A, Control C, new measure, Control V. There you go, right? Now for this one, field we have is average satisfaction score, which I don't think so. Average satisfaction score, let's remove that. And in this new, we will create average satisfaction score is equals to the average of CSAT score. Now it is created without an issue, and you can see it right in front of you how crazy it is. And sometimes you have to live with it. So this is 6, and this will be, the title will be average satisfaction score. Average satisfaction score. SATIS, satisfaction score. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so this is what it is that we are having, right? And then what you can do is over here we need to create a couple of charts, right? So I'll create 2 charts first, call reason and call sentiment. If I show you over here, so these 2 charts are dynamic, these 2 charts are straightforward. So what I'll do is I'll create these 2 charts first. Okay, so for that what I'll do is we need the vertical chart. So over here Let's bring it near this much, right? Yeah, this much. Okay. And with that, what we can do is we need the y-axis. So this is a call reason, right? So we have the reason field, I believe, over here. So which we can put it on y-axis. So we have the reason, and then we have the total calls is on the x-axis. Billing question, this and this. Now just a couple of things. Add the data label. When the data labels are there, you don't need x-axis. Always make sure that the less accesses you will have, it will be fine. And reason, always hide this title. If absolutely necessary, then only do that. Total calls by reason, and we will change this title to call reason. Okay. And center, and I think we can make it 20 and reduce it to this color. So that way we know this. Now the only thing is in the effects, in general, in the effects, background color, this with 50% transparency. Okay, so that it is consistent. All right, we have called reason. Now we will copy and paste, because I know what do I need to do next once I have this. Okay, all right, let's do this. And over here in general, in properties, width 488 for this chart. Let's move it a little bit here and increase this to maybe 500, and over here also 500. Some things, we just need to take care from that perspective. So 500 is also maybe another 10.510 and 510, right? So this should be okay. Yeah, so we have these two charts. Also, I will just make sure that it is properly aligned. Call reason, I will change this to like this, and over here rather than reason we will say sentiment over here. So we will remove the reason, yeah, and we have the sentiments over here, which then we can say sort axis in ascending, like I was showing it, right? So we have call reason and we have the call sentiment. The title is something we need to change, and that is like you have seen in the formatting of visual or general formatting. In general formatting you have the title. All right, so call sentiment and all. Now what do we need is we need to create two dimension. One by this, if I show you just so that you get an idea. One is reason and sentiment. So you have sentiment and you have reason, and you have dimension, which is state and channel. So you have state and channel. So state and channel is over here, and this one reason and sentiment is over here. Okay, so I'm showing you in a particular chart, but you can dynamically behave this, and this is not something which is very difficult. You have the modeling option over here. In the modeling option you have the new parameter, which you can choose it by fields. Call it what do you have, customer maybe customer by, and over here we have customer by state. Okay, or what is the next one? Let me just see it over here. Channel. Where are you? Channel is here. So state and channel, right? So let's create that. So here we have state and channel, right? Now what I'll do is I will first create this pie chart, or this donut to be precise, and let's try to follow me this particular method. Yeah, this much is fine. And over here we have the values. So values, we have the these total calls. Okay, and the legend, what we have is the dimension, which is this customer by. Okay, so you have customer by state, right? And by default, and you have channel. You have state, you have channel, right? If you see total calls by state, total calls by channel. By default, it is picking up the information. So that is something we need to now convert it into a slicer setting from vertical list to drop down. And what do we need? We need to up this much. In general, effects, this one, background, we'll make it 50% transparent, right? So that this is this. And before that, what I'll do is I will increase this up until here, and then I'll move this up. Okay, so we have this customer by. So now I can choose what I need, channel or state, channel or state, right? So based on that, my information will be displayed. Now the next thing is what we can do is we need to create another chart by the weekly chart, which is by reason and sentiment, right? So what I'm doing is right now I was taking the dimension. That now what we have is the reason, and what is the next one? Sentiment. So this is also a dimension. So sentiment and reason over here. But the same way you can do it by measure. Like average set is over here. Total call duration you can change. Average call duration you can change. Method is same. Select this also. Make sure that you are in general, effects, color is this, and 50% transparency. That way it is just there for the division perspective and nothing else. All right, so we have this, and now the final chart, which is the over here based on the call timestamp, the date hierarchy that we have. It is a 1 month information, right? So the way we can do it, we don't have the week. If you see again, we don't have the week. So the way we can do it is we can come over here, here, select call center. In this we will going to click on the new column. In the new column we will say week number, and we will use the week num function, and in that I will pass this timestamp, right, date, and that way it will give me the which week number that it is having, right? So this is basically the based on the calendar period, right? So you have this option where you have the week num, and I think it takes the parameter. One indicates the week is starting on Sunday, and 2 indicates week is starting on Monday, right? So also just double check. I recollect that this is what it means when you say 1 or 2. I may be little bit wrong. Let's say if 1 is Monday or 2 is Sunday, which does not go with the numbering 1 or 2. I feel like 1 is Sunday and 2 is Monday, but you can just double check that. That means week is starting on Sunday or week is starting on Monday. Usually the weekday is starting from this, right? So we have this also. Let me just give the timestamp itself. Still the same thing. I was wondering a different result, but that's fine. So you have this, right? You have this, which then we can bring it over here, and we have the where are you? Week number. So I'll create one chart, which is this, This is where you have the week number, not this, but here, right? And then what do we have is on the y-axis, we need to have the what do you call the total calls. If I'm not wrong, let me just quickly check on my initial visualization. What did I do? So this is where I have the week of month, which is fine, which I have already done. And then we have the total count. Yeah, that means it is right. The total count, right? Now we need on the legend the two fields. So what I'll do is I'm modeling reason and sentiment, right? So numeric field parameter call based on reason or sentiment, right? So reason and sentiment and create. Okay, so this is call based on, and then for this visualization you can bring it onto the legend, and you can see this is how it is coming. One way to represent is this, another way to represent it like this, which I have done it in my chart. So over here I'll just this format painter and paint it like this. Then in the slices setting I will make it not the tile, sorry, drop down, come on, drop down, because this is what I've been showing at the top over there, and then I can reduce it based on, then this is where we have the visual, and I will just move this up a little bit. Yep, that should be good. Now I have reason, I have sentiment, right? Reason and sentiment. The only thing is I need to format this little bit. Over here in the general effects color, this one 50% transparency, right? And title, I will centralize it, maybe make it what, 20. 20 is way too much, 15 is fine, and even here 15 is fine, and I think this much color is fine. Center, even for this color I will keep it the same color just to be consistent with what we are having. So now with the help of all of these visualization, finally we have our dashboard, which I can now choose based on the channel and this, and over here if I just bring it like this, basically gives me the better looking dashboard, which I have it functional for all of my needs, right? So that is my objective. I wanted to show you some of the best practices. We saw, you know, the error which came in, and finally how we resolved it with the help of doing it again. Literally we had to do it again, but we sort of created it without much issue. So that is something we need to take care. Sometimes this type of an error come, and I'll just make sure I'll save this, and we have to resolve this. So call center dashboard, save. You want to replace it? Yes, I want to replace it. Okay, enable, because I think it is already open, that's why it is not, but I'll save it. So that's what it's going on right now. You know, I have done it by dimension. You can change it, you can create it based on the measure as well, like average call time, average satisfaction score based on this, and change this. So this is the functionality I wanted to open it up with you to create a dynamic dashboard for your needs, where you have the control over each chart. Another thing which you can do, I want to share with you, is you can bring this customer and use it creatively by changing from slicer setting to tile, right? And selection is this, and values is fine, and over here if I bring you, yeah, customer by, you bring customer by field over here, maybe like this, right? Oh, come on, yeah, this much, and then you bring it inside this. Okay, now the only thing is over here, if I bring it down over here, remove the effect or background. This is another thing which I am giving you. Okay, so now with the help of this you will be able to select. Now you are not able to select. The reason for this is pie chart is coming on top of this. So the way we can handle it is by going into the view, selection. In the selection you have the pie chart, total calls by state, right? And then you have a slicer this. So bring it above this. So now you will be able to select it, right? Select channel, state, channel or state, which will feel like this is a personalized button for this particular chart. And I'll move it up a little bit if it ever allows me. Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes it creates these issues, but that's fine. We can even do it with the help of properties. In general, properties, we have position, horizontal and vertical. I can move this up as much as I want and horizontal as much as I want, right? So that it basically gives me what I need. So again, one more thing, I showed you a custom chart which is clearly giving you an indication that this is related to this dimension. Feels very good to give control into the hand of end user. How do they want to see this chart? So hopefully you enjoy this, and I'll meet you in the next video with some new dashboard. Well, till then, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe, hit like, and let me know how did you find this dashboard in comments.